beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Farida, and this channel is all about living a life of ease, slow travel, global mobility, and financial peace, especially for Black and Muslim women who want more from life. Today, I'm sharing my experience and perspective on why I'm so excited about the possibility of slow living in Albania, the pros, the cons, and whether it might be worth considering for you. So let's jump right in. So, one of the biggest reasons Albania attracts slow travelers and digital nomads is that US passport holders can stay visa free for 1 full year. No border runs, no visa applications, no stress. You can truly settle in, build routines, and live, not just visit. So I'm all about easy ways of doing things. And Albania makes it so easy. 1 whole year of just feeling out the country, going around to the different cities, seeing where you feel comfortable nesting and staying, and enjoying the atmosphere, filling things out. How am I being treated as a Black woman? How am I being treated as an American? It is a win win situation. Albania, from my research, has a diverse and stunning landscape. Albania is incredibly diverse for such a small country. They have crystal clear beaches along the Ionian and Adriatic seas, snow capped mountains in the north, rolling countryside, olive groves, and historic towns. You can wake up near the sea and be in the mountains a few hours later. And I love the sea. I love water. It is so calming, and mountains just make me happy. When I was in Hawaii, I was in bliss. I did not want to leave just because of how gorgeous being close to mountains and the sea was. It sounds like a wonderful country to scout and to visit and to try to get residency. So I'm really excited about having another country that I can slow travel to. And the third thing that I love about the idea of citizenship and slow travel in Albania is the food. I am such a foodie, and every country that I think of in my mind, the first thing I think about is the food. So when I think of Malaysia, I think about that delicious mix of Asian, East Asian, South Asian, traditional Malay cuisine, and I'm so excited to travel there. And when I think of Morocco, I just think of all of the different meals and dishes that I've eaten there and that I've prepared, and the spices. So I'm such a huge foodie. If the food culture is not on point, I don't even want to visit, to be honest. So that's another reason why Albania seems so amazing. They have fresh food that is simple and comforting. Three favorites are byrek, which is a flaky pastry filled with spinach, cheese, or meat. Think comfort food you can eat at any time of the day and on the go. They have tavakosi, probably pronouncing that wrong, but it is baked lamb and rice in a creamy yogurt sauce. Very filling and very Albanian. And they have fergese, which is a rich dish made with peppers, tomatoes, cottage cheese, and sometimes meat. It's very rustic and flavorful. The food there is so affordable. I follow a lot of Albanian travel channels and Albanian slow living channels. And one thing that I see in all these channels is how fresh, how delicious, and how affordable the food is. So that is something I'm so excited to try. Another great thing about Albania is that English is widely spoken. One thing that surprised me in a good way is how many Albanians speak English, especially the younger people who are working in tourism, cafes, and rentals. It makes daily life a lot easier if you're new to the language. One thing about me is I love language and I pick it up very easily. So, basic things I know that I'll be able to get the hang of and to communicate. But for deeper conversations and handling things like phone service and long term leases and things that require a little bit more knowledge, it's good to know that they have a lot of English speakers. Also, one thing that I found really great about Albania is that there is Islam in Albania. As a Muslim woman, I didn't want to feel out of place, and Islam is practiced quietly and peacefully here. Albania is religiously diverse. There are Muslims, Christians, and secular communities, and they all coexist peacefully. It sounds so wonderful to me. There's no harshness, there's no strict regime. You practice your faith as you see fit, and everyone is respectful of everyone else's religion and faith or lack of faith. And that's what I want. I want to be able to go to the mosque, pray. I don't want it to be extremely oppressive or extremely intolerant to faith communities. I love that sweet spot that Albania has in the middle. And also, Albania has friendly people and low crime. Albanians are warm, curious, and welcoming. Despite what Hollywood shows us, the movie Taken was set in Albania with Liam Neeson, so that might give people a lot of bad ideas about the crime and kidnappings in Albania, but it's way less than here in the US. Albania actually has very low violent crime, especially towards visitors. People look out for one another, and hospitality is a real cultural value. And then some of the cons that I've found from my research is that the low salaries, local wages are very low. So Albania works best if you have remote income. So going over there without a plan, without a remote job might not be the best go-to. I have seen a couple of people go over there and teach locally or work at call centers, and they have said in their own videos that the pay is very minimal. Transportation and infrastructure, it does exist, but it can be unreliable and outdated. One YouTuber stated that he couldn't just order a bus ticket online. You have to show up at the bus station and then order it there. The infrastructure is not as developed as it is here in the US. There are also high taxes on imported goods. Electronics and imported items can be very expensive. So, if you're a digital nomad, remote worker, my advice is to bring the technology and the backup technology that you're going to need. So, for example, if I work remote, I need to, instead of just bringing one laptop, bring two in case one breaks. Make sure I have extra batteries, extra lighting, extra everything that I'm going to need to continue with remote work and content creation. And finally, the smoking culture. Smoking is very common in Albania, very common, which is so weird for me as an American living in 2025 because that is so 1960s, 1970s US. But smoking culture, like a lot of places in Southern Europe and the East, is very prominent. People smoke a lot, and even indoors, places that would just be totally outrageous in the US. So get used to that and be prepared for that. So, what are the Albanian visa requirements? So, to get residency in Albania, you need a valid reason, whether it's work, study, family, investment, or digital nomadism. You need to prove your financial stability, have health insurance, secure your accommodations, whether it's a rental or you're going to purchase a home, provide a clean criminal record, and apply for a Type D visa. Then a permit in Albania with documents like your passport, photos, contracts, and proof of funds, typically renewing annually, with pathways like real estate or digital nomad status offering 1 year permits. So, as I always say, the websites will say one thing, and that's what it's saying on the website. But when you go to the country, you go to the government offices, sometimes it's a lot more easy, especially if you get help on the ground from an attorney or someone that helps with relocation. The process could be so much easier. So, my advice is do your visa free stay, and while you're there, work on your residency permit. So, Albania, it is a beautiful country, very inexpensive, very free to practice your faith, and the food looks fantastic. I hope if you can't apply to a country through descent, you'll look at Albania. It might be the best decision you've ever made. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Use my Trusted House Sitters link for a 25% discount on house sitting stays. And also, my gosh, they're deciding to cut the lawn as soon as I'm doing this video. But hit that thanks button or pay for a coffee. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.